All right, welcome back. Oh, I'm looking at that's a picture with with China, by the way, that I'm just showing, but that's not what I'm supposed to show. All right, hello, fellows. What's the name? Well, hello, fellow fans. Hello, fellow viewers. I don't really know what to say here. Just came back last night, or I mean, guess last afternoon, but I fell asleep as soon as I got back. And now I'm like finally energetic. And like now we could talk about Asian games. We can talk about all of the things that have been happening. There's been so many things that have happened. I'm praying to God I'm unmuted, by the way. Oh, I am. Okay. So, yeah, Asian games, guys. So if you are not updated in this channel, if you're not updated and who I am, I'm Source IDV, but I was actually a participating player in Asian Games, and we qualified. We were under Team Philippines, so we were third seeds in what do you call this in the tournament, and we managed to qualify. Zenedine Blood, that's my rescuer main right there. But I think it's a good time to talk about Asian Games now, right? Now that I finally gotten back home, and now that I finally I'm a bit relaxed now. I don't know why some of this say invited and then some of this say qualifier. Or is that like just like how the team was made? We did have a qualifier for Philippines, by the way. If any Wikipedia person is seeing this, there was a qualifier for Philippines, and the hunter is Guico, Wico, not Jucio. Thank you. If anyone is here, but. Hello, everyone. So I think it's a good time to talk about Asian games. I don't know if I should talk about Asian games first or I should start with IVL IGL because IVL IGL is also crazy. So again, if you guys don't know already, I was in Asian games. I'll literally pull up a picture here. There is us. I am, funnily enough, two of our players right here. It's so funny because Glenn here and he isn't in this photo, but oh God, say 10 years ago. I'm this guy in the middle between the Philippine team, the one doing a heart, but I think almost everyone's doing it. So yeah, this was a very fun photo. This was a very eventful photo. We were pushing each other in this photo. But yeah, I mean, I competed for Asian Games. Again, we placed third. And I think it's time to talk about it because I think there's been a lot of questions recently about Asian Games. A lot of talk. So I think I'll start first, with experience. I mean, we're glad we qualified Team Philippines, and me included, of course. The tournament was, it could have gone better. I think both performance-wise as well as like the management, I mean, it could have gone better. But in general, I think, well, at least for us, we didn't really go through much issues at all, other than just our performances. Or maybe we're just a bit too focused on just playing and like competing, and maybe that's why I can't think of anything on the spot. There's definitely a lot of things to talk about, so I'm gonna start with a lot of like I'll cover some things that I've heard recently about Asian games. I'll start first by like talking about our experiences in that. I'll start first by my experience in Asian games, which is that it's been a pretty nice tournament, at least for me, it has been. Of course, again, performance-wise could have been better, and management. I mean, there's some chaos, especially in the first day, trying to figure it out, especially since for a lot of us, this was our first LAN competing for IWPB. I think the same can be said for players of, Laos or players of Indonesia or players of, Mongolia, Sri Lanka, all of that. I think for a lot of people, this was their first LAN competing, so first day was kind of chaotic. There's also the first time NetEase used the venue which was in Resorts World in Singapore. So it did seem as if there were some also technical issues. So in general, I mean, yeah, I mean, could have been better, but at the same time, I mean, I think by day two and three, it was like total, like it kind of went smooth sailing. At least for us, it went kind of smooth sailing. The performances weren't great, but at the very least, there were as much delays because actually day one we had a lot of delays. Um, I guess the people as well. I mean, everyone we encountered were really nice people. So we talked to It's interesting. We talked to Skyfall from Thailand. We hanged out with Singapore. I know some of my teammates swam with Indonesia's team. And Indonesia was actually like one of the closest teams we had because they were one of the few ones that really speak English fluently alongside Singapore. So we really kind of had a tight bond. We talked to Mongolia as well. Mongolia is very nice people in Mongolia. Shout out Mongolia. Shout out Memo, who's their hunter main. Very nice people there. We talked to Kyrgyzstan as well. We I think talked a bit to South Korea. I think what some of us talked to Vietnam a bit as well. In general, everyone was very nice in this entire tournament. So I think in general, because I've been seeing a lot of hate for some of the players that I try my best not to harass people because I think from my experience, they were all nice people. Um, but yeah, like in general, like we really managed. Like they were really nice people. It was very glad to meet some of them, and of course, like I also got a chance to meet some of my uh friends, some of my online friends who were in Singapore or maybe even competing in Asian games. There were a few. Again, Mongolia's Hunter. So shout out. Um, and in general, it has been quite an eventful tournament. But for the most part, I mean, I'm pretty happy with everything that's gone. Then we talk about some of the other things that was being mentioned. So, for example, I think there was a lot of talk about, some of the countries not knowing how to play the game. I will say, one of the countries we talked to was Kyrgyzstan, and I guess it was a bit of like a story to tell. I mean, Kyrgyzstan, I wasn't entirely sure how they were selected, but I did know for a fact that they only had a couple of days to really learn the game. Um, they tried their best, and Kyrgyzstan actually pulled off some stuff that I had a lot like I did have a lot of respect for Kyrgyzstan for really putting as much effort as they did in the limited time they had. But of course, for a majority of us, we have been playing for years, right? In Group A, except for Kyrgyzstan, we have been playing for years. So yeah, Kyrgyzstan basically kind of got beat that entire tournament in our group. I don't think they won a single point as well. And I think the case was also similar to some of the other countries. So I think Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, and Sri Lanka were the ones that were getting heavily questioned. I know that because of those countries, Laos gained a lot of respect, which is really funny to me. Because if you are in the, Southeast Asia circle, Laos is like people know Laos is good. Um, Laos Laos's Hunter was, I think, at some point in IVT 2025 for AW's Hunter. The round one Hunter. The survivors are pretty decent as well, pretty okay. Um, which is why it's very, very funny because I've been seeing a lot of like a slew of Chinese fans be like, "Oh my God, Laos is actually insane at this game," and like respectfully, so Laos was doing quite well despite not qualifying. But yeah, like a lot of people think it was gonna be a similar case to the other teams that don't have as much experience. But like Laos does have a wealth of experience. It's just not well documented. Most of the time, Laos, from my understanding, Laotian players, I'm not sure if that's the term you use, but they usually compete in local Thai tournaments because the language I think is very similar, and so they kind of just like you'd see some players from Laos compete in some local Thailand tournaments. Um, in terms of the way the qualifiers went, it was insane. Well, for the most part, everything I think was predictable, question mark. The only upset that really happened was Vietnam versus Singapore. I was there live watching Vietnam versus Singapore. If you guys watch Vietnam versus Singapore, because I know it was on live stream, but it should be here, yeah. There should be, there's no link. There's no link. Oh, there's no link. But this was live. Singapore versus Vietnam was live. If you guys get a chance to watch it, I suggest you do. This was one of the most gut-wrenching matches. It actually hurt to watch that game live because it was so close. Oh my God, like I won't spoil it too much. I think it's a match that should be watched. Maybe I'll make a video about it, but because Singapore, some of the Singapore players are people I have a lot of respect for. I have a lot of like Singapore was also someone that we talked to a lot during this entire tournament, and we bonded with a lot. So it's really tough for me to make a video about that match. But oh my goodness, it was a tough one. Like it actually hurt watching it. And if you saw the stories of the Singaporean players, you would know how gut-wrenching it felt. Like it was genuinely like I was there live, so I know how it felt. I could see them from across the room. I was on the Vietnam side of the live venue that time, but I could see the Singaporean side of the table at that match, and oh my God, it just was really tough. Do you have any goals for Asian Games after making top 10? Well, to win, of course. I mean, we're representing our country, we want to win. But, it's gonna be a tough one, especially, a lot of things that we need to fix, a lot of things that we need to iron out if we want to do that. But yeah, I mean, time will tell. But for now, us Filipino players, including me, will be grinding the game as much as possible. I do want to outdo my performance. I got four escaped by South Korea. I think I was one of the few hunters outside of the four I mentioned, from Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Sri Lanka that got four escaped. So that's not like a great thing on my resume. But I do want my revenge. Okay, I am seeking for revenge, so I hope to get it. I mean, at the very least, though, the other matches we did pretty well. Malaysia as well. Well, that was a tough one. Malaysia is just one of the strongest teams, but we had, I think, especially the survivors had their moments in in that match. Just it was really unfortunate because it was just wrong build in that match, if I remember. So we had a long talk about it as well. During your time, what have you learned from other players, or did you get any feedbacks? We didn't really get feedbacks. I think it's because, well, to be fair, and I guess to be fair, the main ones that we lost were South Korea and Malaysia, but the problem was that happened on the same day. So after we basically lost to Malaysia, we had to go to it was like a couple hours before the South Korea match, and of course, every other team and player here was preparing for their own matchups. So it's really hard to give advice to other teams. But yeah, for the most part, though, we did learn a lot facing Malaysia and South Korea. It taught us a lot about what we needed to do, what we needed to improve on. But in terms of whether we got advice from other countries, I mean, I guess we did get some from Skyfall, I believe before the tournament started, but I wasn't actually the one who got that. I know it was one of the other players. So, also shout out Skyfall. Skyfall's so cool. But, yeah, in general, this qualifiers has been a great learning experience. Of course, we wanted to place higher because we really I don't know if I would say confident. I think we really thought we could maybe get second or first, but of course, I think experience bested us. Malaysia and South Korea has a wealth of experience actually competing in a LAN, and they also have more time to I would say more time to prepare, but they've had more opportunities to compete internationally. So maybe I think that's the roadblock that we suffered here, but definitely just generally we learned a lot of things in these matches. Getting four escape by South Korea was a very great learning experience for me. Um, in general though, it was a very eventful, event. It was a very eventful event. I don't know what else to tell you. Um, and I think, you know, there's definitely a lot of things that I don't, there's definitely a lot of things that could be ironed out, that could be fixed from this event. Again, day one was, I would say there was kind of a bunch of delays in day one, but in general, I mean, we learned a lot from this event. Us players learned a lot from this event. And so I'd say that one was very important. And, hopefully heading into Nagoya, I think The road only gets better from here. Whether that's referring to the match quality we'll be getting, whether that's referring to the venue, whether that's referring to really anything, I think it gets better from here. This is just a qualifiers after all, so there's gonna be, a lot of things that could be said, but in the end, it's a qualifiers. The main event is still later this September. Or is it later this September? What the previous say actually? What the main event is? Oh, okay, it's gonna load for a bit. So let's talk. Well, there we go. Actually, there's also another thing that like saw recently. No, it's not coming up. Like there was another thing where it's like a lot of people really disappointed about the patch and like the changes that they made. And all I'll say about that is, I mean, this is, I don't think this is limited to IDV. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't done research, but I do know for a fact that like the OCA, the Olympic Council of Asia, does have a lot of control over what needs to be censored and what needs to not be censored by the game, and that's a constant back and forth from NetEase and OCA. I'm not entirely sure how much of that is true, but from my understanding, that's how similar it's kind of similar to other games. But don't take it from me. All I will say though is that definitely the censorship stuff I think is more so primarily because it is an Asian Games event rather than an event hosted by just NetEase themselves. So it's a bit hard to really, you know, it's a bit hard to kind of juggle those two. And so I'm not entirely sure if that's the reason why it was an older version, why there was so much changes. I'm not going to make assumptions, but at least to me, that is the most realistic explanation for some of these things. And it's really hard. I mean, it's tough. It's tough that that's the case. Hopefully, that those some of those restrictions or some of the censorship stuff can be ironed out as the months go by, as years go by. If there's ever another Asian Games event, maybe there'll be some changes. Maybe they'll allow a bit more. But at least for now, I think, yeah, the censorship stuff kind of tough. But again, probably from Olympic Council of Asia, if I were to presume. But again, that's okay for me. What teams are you guys most scared and or excited to face? Well, to be fair, I'm pretty sure there isn't a format yet, a specific format of how this works, and even if there was, I probably couldn't tell you anyways. But I'm excited I'm scared to face China, okay? We watched a lot of China games. First off, so much fans. There is so much Chinese fans. The Chinese games were always packed in the venue. Like there's so much. And of course, I mean, I guess in Japan there's gonna be more Japanese fans, but still, God, Chinese fans, there is so much of them. It actually scary. Yeah, it was actually scary as hell sometimes watching the matches. And you can see like the love that the fans have for the Chinese team. So definitely I'm most scared of China. I did also watch their matches. They kind of dominated in most of their matches. There's definitely some games, like I think it was against Laos and Singapore, where things looked really dangerous on their survivor end. But in the end, China 10-0 basically swept their way in. Very strong team. I would not, I would be scared rather to face that team. And most excited to face, tough to say. I mean, again, I do want a revenge match with South Korea. If we get to meet South Korea again, I would want that. Because, my performance against them, it was not what I wanted. Like, I really did not like my performance against South Korea. It would be also interesting to meet Indonesia. Indonesia was, again, the team that we talked to the most, in the entire tournament, because again, they were one of the few teams that were very fluent in English. The rest, they could still speak English, but it was really hard to hold a full conversation. But Indonesia, as well as Singapore, from the qualifiers, were the two that were really most English fluent. So, Indo definitely one of the teams that were most that I'd also be very excited to see them, and face them. But hopefully not, honestly, because I would want to see them also succeed. And I wouldn't want to have to be we wouldn't want to be the team. We wouldn't want to be the matchup where it's like make or break. It would be really tough. Uh, you gotta say hi to my goat if you get to face Japan. I will. I will. Don't worry. I'll say hi. I'll say hi for you. I'll say, this, the number one Aka fan wanted to say hi. New Philippine video Philippines has locked in for Asian games. We'll reserve it for when we get to the actual like main stage event. The qualifiers, maybe I'll make a video. Again, I really want to make a video on that Vietnam Singapore game because that one was that was a tough game to watch. Like it was actually such a being there because I was live venue. Holy, it was actually, dude, that was an insane game. But Singapore players are people I have a lot of respect for, people that we talk to a lot. It's gonna be really tough to make a video about them losing. Okay, so maybe I need some time to think about it. The IB that lucked out against Korea. We got cooked, boy. Or I got cooked. My Ivy got cooked. 4 escape. That's tough, man. Filipino CZ9 is like next level, bro. Don't worry. And don't worry, I'll lock in, guys. I'll lock in. I'll lock in. But yeah, that's for Asian games. That's the Asian games segment, unless there's any more questions. Which I can't answer as we talk about. Oh yeah, also, we did get a picture here with China, if you haven't already seen on my Twitter. And I think it's also here. My picture with Jin. This is so funny. I'll talk about this story about Jin as I also go to, I also find the rosters first. But the Jin photo was really funny because that happened a couple of, I think like, I forgot it was a day or two before the matches start. So we were planning to post it, but then, uh, I think it was like I don't know who said it to us. Like someone like said like if it's fine if you upload it last day, and then Nello just uploads it. So I don't think he. So I don't think he got the memo. But I was like, when do I upload this picture? Like, so I uploaded it on the last day. I don't remember if it was the last day or like the day we're about to leave. I think yeah, this was the last day. So this was the last day. And I took this picture like a couple days before. Jin, very nice person, said Jayo right before, after seeing the photo. Um, and I'm like a big fan. And someone was saying that I'm like a Jin Glazer, but like I don't actually, like, I'm like some new gen dude. I'm like, I took a picture. I was supposed to take a picture with PB Shaw, but I forgot because I was too focused on the Jin pic. But also shout out to this person. There was we saw some art for our team. It was very nice to see some people, some friends come along, and root for us. So shout out to those people as well. But okay, let's start. Let's talk about let's skip the Asian game stuff. Maybe we'll talk about it. We'll get back to it later. Let's talk about IJL, IVL because I haven't gotten my time around this. Um, okay. Should I check the? I'll check the roster first because this is easier to look at. There we go. So first off, I believe this is I forgot, was it Namiko who was like off during the it was MCO now. But yeah, AWG basically same roster. Kasarabi is now gonna go back inactive because one of their players came back. Yoon is one of their hunters, Yukahina. Solid roster, didn't make much changes at all. I mean, nothing much to write home about. IGL rosters were pretty like, well, to be fair, we'll get there. Axis Wave, yeah, Kakaka, I think is taking a break. I'm not sure if he's gonna be returning, but I mean, I'm gonna assume that he probably will be, after this summer season, but of course, let's not make any assumptions right now. Very sad, because Kakaka was not getting utilized by this team enough. I think he was a very solid hunter. But Axis Wave, same survivors as well. still a solid team. Like it's very similar core, but now just know, like it's Kakuri Soul Hunter here. How does it feel that we got more LAN experience than I I hope they get a LAN experience soon. Well, they'll get it does it start June 6th, I think. This tournament starts June 6th, so they'll get it soon. Don't worry. They'll get more LAN experience than we see. But DFM, I believe, there we go. Riz is out and Amand is in. Riz, I did kind of saw this coming because Riz was in the ICL tournament. He was listed in the roster of ICL, so I had a hunch that he wasn't gonna be in the roster. I didn't even know, I wasn't even sure if he was even in the roster already at that point. But yeah, Riz is all gonna be gone, and Amand, who I believe was from CFY, is coming in. I think that's a totally fine change. Nothing much to write home about. I'm more curious to see how much how light like the day, light and day or sorry day and night difference between having Riz as your rescuer and Takayahi as the rescuer, because Takayahi was missing during the group stage matches, and I think that again was a big factor for why DFM struggled in that tournament. But they also did get a new survivor. MZK is gonna cook. I know he is. And in general, I think DFM has a good shot at making it playoffs for this year. Who's next? Oh, Fennel. Fennel. Cat is inactive. UGG got moved to RC. We'll talk about RC in a bit. And they brought Sasori in, and I do not know what to feel about this. I have not been like ever since Fennel made their changes, I have not been the biggest Sasori fan. And no offense to the dude. But then I think I'm not sure if Kai is on break or what. Like, why don't you play? Oh wait, hold on. I don't know if Kai is on break or not or what, but I don't know how this is supposed to look for Fennel. Like, who is harassing? Can we not like, hello? Like, this is so weird. I don't know, man. Like, it's getting like racking my brain. I mean, guess it could be Katsuki. I guess it could be Sasori. Like, Katsuki's gonna probably play Arrow, probably play those, the characters she's already been playing, and like Sasori, I don't remember him being a harasser ever. So, yeah, I don't really like Fennel's change, but I guess it exists. Sasori was a harasser main. Am I just genuinely forgetting it? Because I remember this guy being a kiter main. Kind of plays everything. But that does make sense. That does sound like Sasori. But but like, I mean, he could play harasser, but I mean, if I don't even remember Sasori plays harasser, then it has, like, I don't think it's that memorable then. But I don't know. I don't trust this. I don't trust this. Maybe it's just me. I don't trust this. Like I don't trust this change. Hopefully Cat comes back because I'm not sure it is actually inactive, like he's going on break or like he actually left. Because I thought he left prior to seeing this. But now move on to the big. Did not make any changes. Solid roster. Of course, question for me is still the Hunters. I think the Survivors are actually really decent, you know? And like the Survivors are starting to form, and the Hunters actually had decent performances, but it's like I want to see more, right? It's a young new roster that doesn't have as much experience as the people that they faced in qualifiers, hence why they couldn't win in the end. Really, was he? I don't even remember that one. God. Anyways, sorry. Going back, QT Dig. Yeah, QT Dig is solid. Like I actually think QT Dig is like one of the more underrated teams heading into this. And now I think we move into RC. Tough one, as well. Silva and Rowley are out. Both I believe retiring, but I think was it Soba? Sorry, it was Soba that one that's gonna still stay for Asian Games. I could actually, I'm pretty sure I could check it right here. Or was it Rowley? I forgot. It's Soba, yeah. But Soba's still competing for Asian Games, but for IJL he is technically retiring, I guess. So that is tough. Does seem as if they brought UGG in, which I think is solid. UGG was a solid player. I think like when he was underperforming in Fennel, it was less about him and more so that they could not figure out what to put on this guy. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just a glazer. But yeah, UGG is a solid player. Honestly. That's why I was so surprised when Katsuki really popped off. Because I thought it was gonna be a bit of a struggle initially. UGG was a solid one. So honestly, this is now I think the second time Reject is getting a good former FL player. Because I did know that Monopu, I think Monopu was former FL, was an RC in like Cola 7 run. But I don't know, I don't know. IFL do be like, oh my god! Imagine if UGG was still the Fennel, that would be nasty. Yeah, first time to learn the harassers at this point. I don't know. I do think UGG is solid though. Like a lot of people do sleep on UGG, mostly because well, for last year he was basically inactive the entire time, and then the times that he was active, the Fennel just wasn't a good team. Oh yeah, Soba's birthday. Anyways, moving forward, scars. Why does Mon have Ice Boy? I believe, yeah, SZ. Now I think it's yeah, GMK. Yeah, okay. Basically, just swap these two. Which is whatever, cause I did know for a fact that how do you say this again? I'm just gonna say 4 to 5 because I'm like honestly fried. My brain is like low-key fried and trying to figure out how you call them again. But yeah, he played Survivor for a bit before he switched back to coach. Back when I think it was still Mirai K coach, Mirai Kan coach for SZ. He was playing Survivor. And then when they made a big shift back in summer when they got I forgot which were the other survivors, and then they also got I think that was the year they had Yuri for like a season. They put 4 to 5 back in survive and they put 45 as coach, and now they basically swapped it around. Chicago. Okay. I mean, it's a change. Like I don't think there's not much to like mention about it. It's a I don't think it will change them too much. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm like sleeping on Chicago. But Zeta, oh Zeta. Oh Zeta. Oh Zeta. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Oh, this one hurts the soul. First, Peter is out. Um, has he retired? Doesn't seem like it. Um, like he just didn't re-sign with Zeta, but then he didn't re-sign with anyone else. So no, I'm a bit confused with Peter's situation. I know Kazuneko, as much as here, inactive, going on break, and they brought Rose in. Um, when was the last time Rose competed? Like in did he was there were there even in qualifiers? Rose? But yeah, um, I don't know why they got Rose because I don't remember the last time Rose has been in Koa. I know Rose competes locally in Japan. I think they were literally in the first rendition of ICL. So I know that they still compete and play it, but I don't know when was the last time Rose was in Koa. Were they in Koa? Lord Lorcy Fulan team. That's diabolical. Next, it was crazy because I know Rose from when they were competing in a Korean team called EN. That's how far back my memory of Rose is. Like I don't know. To be fair, it's tough to find a replacement for Peter, but Rose? Rose? Oh, they're Nagi doing Hunter solo? Oh, I mean, sure, sure. I mean, that's like that's fine. The I mean, there were a bunch. I'm pretty sure there were a bunch of pretty good hunters available. I'm pretty sure. Oh my God, I wish Yuri gets another team, bro. Please, somebody pick Yuri up. Bro. Please, bro. I need him back on the team. But yeah, Yuri is was there. Oh, I forgot. Rose was in Koenai, the IG, I think. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe Peter, uh, quote unquote retiring, technically, quotation marks, very loose quotation marks. But for now, prioritizing school, so he's not re-signing. And if he comes back, it's not guaranteed whether it's going to be to Zeta or not. So who knows? But Zeta, what a punch to the gut, cause wow, you lose two of your players. I am excited to see Alfred play though. I am very excited to see Alfred play. So hopefully that goes well. Alfred has yet to. I have has Alfred played actually is a better question. Oh, I think Yuri is just don't want to go pro. Yeah, I mean I think that there's just a lot of demand to go pro, and also not a lot of teams want to change up their roster. So there's just a lot of things to talk about. I do think there's some players that do want to go pro that could have been taken, but who knows? Maybe just me. Anyways, let me just be right back, guys, for like a minute or two, and I'm just gonna grab a glass of water. So give me a sec here. All right, we are back. Okay, IVL rosters now. What is it actually? Oh, this is the Asian reference, right? IVL's rosters now. Let's go over them. I haven't actually looked at some of them. I do know for a fact many teams have a ton of players. So, for example, ACT has a bunch of new players. Hold on. I think I need to open the roster change because I'm kind of lost. Okay, there we go. So, wait, I know there's more for ACT that got changed. Yeah, Levin is out, which sucks kind of, but I know XY used to be a wrestler, but they also got Lingyun Stop, who I'm pretty sure is a new dude. Inkmo, who I also am sure is a new dude, but they still do have the same survived hunters. Not entirely sure how to feel about this. Um, they did lose some of their survivor core, albeit I think it really is just 11. Did they lose anyone else? No, right? Frost was a sub. Holy, there's just way too many. I'm only looking at some of this now, okay? So I know some of the big ones, but God, wait, there's so many. I was so lost already. But yeah, these three are still here basically. So it really is just 11 take going out. Probably Lingyan, maybe Lingyan will be the rescuer, who knows? I am I don't know. There's so much stuff. Okay. I'll like try to be like try to stay here. But yeah, that's ACT guys for you. Um don't know what to feel because there was way too many changes for me, but I will say ZZ9 and Moonlight are still there. I hope Moonlight gets more playing time. But let's see. Dove 5 is next. Oh wow, Dove 5's roster is significantly smaller. I didn't know Dove 5 had quite a bunch of changes. Yeah, here we go. Like Unicorn Straight Man Gaming is gonna be uh joining in on Dove 5. Go Yad is now a coach, so not hunting anymore. Suda, former TE's former sub hunter back in summer, now joining this team, which I think is a great change. But in exchange, they basically kind of lost everything. So they've lost, Caesar and also lost Nan, which is kind of tough. Oh, they also got Moming. I swear to God, Moming got failed to rescue in that Puyen tournament, but might be just either rescued perfectly or rescued really badly. I actually cannot remember. I just remember Moming having some clip there, but yeah, I mean, very different roster from Dove 5, so it's hard to say what to make of it. But at least for the most part, I mean, they still do have Hajime, and they do also have Suda now, which I think is a good change. Yeah, it's probably yeah. The AC didn't change much. I don't know why they have six survivors though. Like none of these survivors are Asian games because I know that some of the rosters that have a lot of survivors are the ones with like Asian games players. Who is here that is Asian games? None of them is in Asian games. Why did what they just brought six survivors in? Hold on. Yeah, Straight Man Gaming is absolute buns. More so because of the comms. I don't think it was a skill thing. I think it was a comms thing with this guy. But yeah, I mean, not super positive for Do-Fi. I mean, there's some things to look forward to, I guess. The Weibo Gaming shaped elephant, we are gonna address that very soon. Get there. ZQ! I didn't know ZQ was one of the few teams that didn't make that much changes, and for that, they are the team that's really cool because I actually really like the roster they have right now. Um, I don't know why Long is written here in the out because I'm pretty sure Long has been out for quite some time. But yeah, I mean ZQ. I mean it's a nice roster. I like ZQ. I like ZQ's roster. I'm glad they kept their roster. I also am very glad they got a sub hunter. Because who knows? Who knows how long Dong Shu is gonna be here. I don't want to be the guy to start that that message, but I do think it's great to always have a sub hunter ready in the wings if anything goes awry. And also in general, I like the Survivor roster of ZP. Considering that so many other teams made roster changes, I would look at ZQ as probably one of the earliest contenders right now. So, like, I do think ZQ looks really good. GG! Oh, GG. I've heard so much drama about this team recent and in like the past recent weeks, but I'm not even gonna mention them this time. So it's so funny because I heard so much retirement rumors about this team, and none of them retired. Everyone was panicking over that. Everyone was panicking over nothing. Shalma's still here. I do think Shalma is taking a break. Question mark. I'm not entirely sure. PP Shaw of at 18 still here. PP Shaw 18, PP Shaw still here, but PP Shaw's gonna be in games. And they did get ACT's 11 and T King, who was one of the most promised prospects during the entire like summer transfer period. I think a lot of teams were eyeing for him, and GD got him in the end. How is Buell still here? That is a good question. I do hope they don't run a five-man roster this time. Surely not, right? I mean, PP Shaw will probably not be available. Yuming is also here. I'll be I heard drama about Yuming, and I won't get into it anymore. I can't even pronounce his name all of a sudden. Q. Yes, he's still here. And I love that for him. I hope he plays games. I mean, a lot of the other Asian Games players are also here. Speaking of GR, AC is one of the Asian Games players. Jin is also one of the Asian Games players. I'm surprised is Hart back? Like, why is Hart listed here? That's a bit outdated, no? But they did get Koting and they did get Bai, and they got Do 5's Sub Hunter, and they also still have MLX. Yeah, like, I think this was one of my favorite transfer periods so far out of all the teams. I think every team, like, well, other than ZQ, who didn't really change much, every team took some form of loss. I think GR is one of the few teams that, like, despite losing AK, it feels like this team is still just as good, you know. So, I mean, the only problem as well, Jin and AC are gonna be in Asian Games, seemingly. So they might not be playing as much, or they might not even be playing at all. So that is a bit of a concern, but I do like this. It's a very young roster, CT0 heading into their first year of IVL. Still need an apology video for City. By Koting also being here, very young players. Maybe this is a chance now for the other two hunters to come and step in, show what they're made of. I like it. I like GR's roster. So that's GW, with their 10 million changes as per usual. They did get Silver G. They also did get Tier, who he had an absolute clip during the Puyen. Is it called Puyen? The tournament, basically, in China. Lit Lai still here. They got a bunch of new players. Who left? Yeah, too many people. I'm not even gonna say them all here. Um, Do 5, I think. Yeah, Unicorn is now Do 5, yes. Okay. They did get Winter, they did get Shao Kao 7. They also, the Alliance always been here. I was tripping. And also Fox Eye has been an old, like, I'm a bit newer, but like he's also been here, from that original roster. Yeah, everybody, like, just everybody and their mother is here now, like JW, the place where everybody goes and leaves, like it just, you cannot, if you stayed in GW for more than 1 year, you are blessed. You are lucky. But yeah, GW as well. MRC, also has a bunch of drama that I won't get into. Though to replace Nanako and Bailu, I'm guessing for the Asian Games. They have taken Red from GR as well as Mortis, who I am not entirely sure who they are, and I don't know if it was true, but I think Xiao Cheng is not going to be playing and it's taking a break question mark, but I'm like not entirely sure about that. I'm not sure if that is true. Not much to say other than you just lost two of your best players because of Asian Games. Hard to really make a change out of that. But, MRC, well, let's see. That rhymed, by the way. I did hear a lot of good things about Mortis. Um, so I hope he like absolutely pops off and maybe during autumn gets a different team. Once Violet comes back for MRC, maybe he'll join something like, Do 5 or some stuff or whatever. I don't care what team it'll be. I hope he performs well because I just like seeing new players do well. Address Nanako. Uh, do I have to? I feel like there's so much stuff happening with Nanako. I kind of want the air to get cleared because a lot of rumors are being thrown out. But right now, TE as well. Speaking of TE, I know TE had one of their players retire. Who was the one that retired here? Okay, not Alex. But he did also retire. Which player from TE retired? Someone here retired, right? Who retired here? I swear to God. Was it Libao? I swear someone retired. It wasn't Mao because I would have remembered. I would have remembered if Mao retired. I would have absolutely cheered in joy. So it's not him. Is it drop? It's drop. Yeah, it's drop. Still though, I think you also played in Korean games. I think they did. I don't remember too much about it though. Al Confit, of course, still a solid team. It's very similar to, except now Drop is out, which kind of sucks that Drop is a solid player, in my opinion. But now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Weibo Gaming, what are we doing? No! 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 Oh, Li Bao is on break. Ah, but Weibo Gaming. Oh my god, man. Oh my. I'm very sad Kotting. Well, to be fair, Kotting went to GR because he wanted to go to GR. So it's not really Weibo Gaming's fault, but really, we get Jelly, we get PPZ. We chose not to get like younger players. Come on, man. We could have had a better year. We could have gotten younger. We could have gotten new players. But no, 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 no. If they don't win, like I'll put it on Weibo Gaming as simple as this. If they do not win any tournament this year, they failed. That's it. They failed. They just failed. If Weibo Gaming does not win a single tournament this year, they failed. They actually failed. This is gonna be one of the most stupidest choices ever. Like they failed. If they win, maybe well, I probably still kind of failed. But if they do not win, it's a failure. It's such a gamble. Like this is gonna backfire to me. Like when I saw this, I'm like, oh no. But anyways, let's go back. Let's go to Wolves. He's back. He's back. I remember. I remember when his announcement was released and everybody was talking about him. Oh my goodness. Nobody want him. But yeah, he's here. He's back on Wolves, you know. And as well as Clover, who I did forget about Clover for a bit from the ITZY stunt. And they also got a new hunter who says they play who they say plays Feaster. Whether that's true or not, I have absolutely no clue. And Yavi's a coach. Not much to say there, but that is Wolves as well. And well, the schedule is oh wow, the schedule's here. So nice. So it's gonna start 2 days from now. So nice, so nice. But yeah, this is. Let me actually look at this. Oh yeah, they also made some logo changes. GG and GR's logo. It's unnecessary change, but it's whatever, honestly. But anyways, that is all the changes. Now, my favorite to win for each region in IJL. That's actually a tough question. In IJL, hmm, that is, I think either RC or Axis will win in IVL or IJL. I think it's between those two. I would say DFM or QTB are fucking underrated. People sleep on these teams. I'm gonna give them benefit of doubt. I think they're really strong, especially if they've managed to figure things out. Albeit, I think it's dependent really on their performance. I do think DFM having their rescuer back is gonna be is gonna be huge. I would root for Fennel as well, but I don't know, no cat. I'm very sad about that. And for IVL, if it's true that the Asian game players are not playing, I would say ZQ wins this IJ, this IVL. I think ZQ is a winner. Um, Heading into IVL. My second would probably be, well, it's tough because so much of it, like, there's gonna be so much new players, so it's like hard to really say for sure. But in my opinion, it would probably be something like TE, because they also didn't make much change. Albeit Drop Level is pretty tough loss. They do still have one of the best hunters. But yeah, oh yeah, I do know about that. Studies and studies and studies. I'm so sad. But yeah, for IVL ZQ, I can see it. ZQ is for sure one of the top teams. In IGL, I think it could. I don't really know. Actually, for IJL, it's so hard to say because I think RC is the clear answer, but I feel like it's so obnoxiously like I would say kind of clear that it feels like I feel like it'd be much more surprising if they don't end up winning. But yeah, RC ZQ. I am indeed one of them. But I mean, also, I'm more confident in ZQ winning IVL than RC winning IJL. I mean, I could see an upset coming from something like. I swear, if SC pulls up, please, I need SC to actually pull up, because it would be crazy to see SC pull up, because I could see it happening. I could see the SC arc happen this year, especially since they got the break. But it's just hard to say. I mean, Axis as well can. I think Axis. The Tuna return? Tuna returned, right? Or did Tuna? Yeah, no, never mind. No. Tuna did not return. I'm stupid. So they're gonna continue running with Monarchy. But I'm pretty confident Axis Wave. Axis Wave is a solid team in general. They didn't make much changes. In fact, they didn't really make any changes other than Kahaka going on a break. So I feel like it's so safe to just simply bet, yeah, Axis Wave wins. But yeah, I mean, also, yeah, AWG, I mean, bringing back, I mean, this is also a really solid roster, honestly. I would be, well, I think the better question when it comes to IGL is who's not qualifying. Because because I think it's crazy to say Zeta. I don't know if it's crazy to say Zeta doesn't qualify, but it's like they just lost two of their best players. It's hard to be like that's a consensus thing that Zeta still qualified when they've lost their key harasser and one of the best hunters. Like that's a tough one to beat. And then I mean am I confident that Fennel doesn't qualify? I'm pretty confident because maybe I'm just not a big fan of like Sasori harasser or something. Like it's Zeta Fennel, I think. Zeta Fennel doesn't qualify, I think, for IJL playoffs. I think it's those two teams. Maybe QTD, but QTD looks so good now. So I think those two teams will qualify, which sucks because I'm a big Fennel fan. I do want to see Fennel qualify, but I can not having Cat, not the biggest fan of that. I'm not the biggest fan of that at all. That is not like it's tough. It's tough. For IVL. Who does not qualify from IVL? Who does not qualify from IVL? Let me look at the rosters again. I think it's still ACT and GW doesn't qualify. But it's actually really hard to say. Um, Wolves is, I mean, Wolves is still decent. Like, I'm thinking like this for that one Sasori haters agenda. I don't think Sasori could good even with that guy. Does GW like okay? Well, I'm looking at this. This MRC? No way in hell MRC doesn't qualify. I'm like looking at it. MRC had like they might not be like the favorites to win, but they'll qualify. They'll reach top eight. Wolves? No, I mean I could see Wolves not qualifying, but I don't think it's I don't think Wolves is that bad even. I mean like I know that the Shuai Mr. Person guy, Shuai MR is here. But like, I don't think he's playing, and I more so I hope he's not. Let me look at the other ones. Well, it's like it's hard to say because it's ACT not qualified. ACT just is one of the fumblers. One of the fumblers. I would not be surprised if ACT doesn't qualify again. GR is cooked. I don't think he is. I think this is a solid survivor roster. I'll be a bit concerned because without a single vet in this team, without AC in this team, without AK in this team, who is IGL? Like Cotting? Like, like who? Like I feel like GR is gonna be that one team that kites really well and they somehow get 410. Because I do think this is a talented roster. And then, well, the Hunters, I don't know. I trust GR because GR always gets like absolute diabolically strong hunters. Maybe that's just me. Next thing you know, the former Do5 sub is actually like goaded like that. But yeah, everyone is a newbie in this GR. I'm still really high on this GR roster, so I don't think it's down. Not TE. Does Weibo Gaming without a Persica potentially not qualify? Like, let's think about it. Does a Weibo Gaming without a Persica not qualify? I mean, I can see it, but Nyanya is also really still a really solid hunter. So it's like hard to say. I mean, it could. I'm gonna still say it's ACT. Well, let me look at GW's roster again. What's your? Well, the thing, no, I'm still saying ACTGW. I'm still saying ACTGW. I still think ACTGW. That are the ones not qualifying. I would say right now the best teams are definitely ZQ and TE. I think TE is a solid team. But then again, well, I'm still like, I think I'm still not processing the fact that Lee Bao and Drop are not playing for the year. So maybe that might take me some time to like really be like, yeah, I think it's, I do think though, I don't know, maybe Wolves are just I think Wolves is still underrated. Like, I personally think the issue with Wolves is was more so that the strats were not there. Like it's like they were working with the ghost of 487 or something. But hopefully the time it has taken for them to finally get used to not having the guy on the roster is enough of the time to finally create a strategic plan around its actual players. Plus, maybe it's just me. I think was it Lemon who was doing? Dude, Lemon had a was it Lemon that had a clip with access? I swear, the entire clip with Opera Singer access. TE isn't Dr. IGL. I think it is. Yeah, that's why I'm like thinking whether I've really processed that information properly. It's hard. I feel so hard to like say because it does seem as if it's like well I do think Weibo Gaming is still a top team, which is why again if they don't win, it's like they kind of like it's like that's a big fumble, but at the same time not having Persica, I don't know. I mean maybe it's just like idea that Weibo Gaming is carried but yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. That's no, you're not. You're average for sure. GG's also a really solid roster, I think. Uh, I think it's ACTGW still placing well. I think I think Wolves is fine because Wolves at least has some experience, and maybe it's just me. I don't trust the other teams as much right now. Though 5GR ACT Wolves, I would say Wolves has to be like is the highest out of all those four. But yeah, anyways, that is IVL as well. But now, that is actually it. Well, I guess we could talk about Asian Games rosters. But I won't give you what my thoughts are or like who I think is gonna win, cause I'm gonna win. But because it would be biased. I think I would give too much, stuff. But let's talk about Asian Games roster before we end for tonight. But let's just talk about Japan. Soba is going to be in the Japan team. They did say that even though he's not really going to be playing for IGL, he's going to still, do his duties for the Asian Games team, and he will be competing for them. All to say, it's a very solid roster, as they do still have the very solid RC core with the addition of Katsuki and Maiken from Fidel. Katsuki, I think, being a very solid player, and Maiken is a great. I'm assuming he's gonna probably sub for this team as City will be the main rescuer. And then you have Aka and Yukakina. And Yukakina is probably one of the better sub hunters heading in the one of the more solid round tree hunters, you know, very solid player. China, I mean I've seen them of course, we've already seen them all. Very solid team. I'm definitely still ironing out the, comms from the looks of it. You have Persica, XMF, AC, Nanako, PP Shaw by the Jin. Very solid team. They placed first in the qualifiers for a reason. Then you have Malaysia. We faced Malaysia, so we know how it feels. Has a really solid. I would say like Passion is the dude. He is he is crazy with it, and the survivors are also really solid. He just knows how to play the game, like one of the best teams. Yeah. Now we have Chinese Taipei. Uh, Oh yeah, this is Chinese Taipei's team. I was rechecking because I swear to God, there's some people here that are not like that I did not like recognize. But yes, this is Chinese Taipei's team. They did place first in the Group B bracket, and I think it was a 2-0 against Thailand too. So Chinese Taipei was also a really solid team when we watched them. Though they were mostly, I think no, I lied. They were all off-stream matches, unfortunately. So it's really hard to say. But they basically I think it was like yeah, I think they ended up with a +8, but go through the qualifier version of it. What's the one? But yeah, like oh, that is lagging real bad. Anyways, yeah, that is Chinese Taipei. As now I'm just dying here. Then you have South Korea. Let's talk about South Korea. My other tab is just dead. Okay, I'm just gonna close this. Oh, there you go, logged in. But wait, let me find the score because I do remember. Yeah, it was a +8, so they basically 2-0'd every team they faced. So Chinese Taipei was really strong. Um, Now we move on to South Korea. South Korea was second seeds in Group A. Very solid team. Again, four escaped me, so I have a lot of respect for South Korea. It is basically the PRR core. That is if it loads. But yeah, PRR core. Basically the same players. They do have the addition of Ovo, who's been basically an old one, but he wasn't, I believe, in PRR's team during Koa 9. So other than that, though, it is basically the same roster as their Koa 9 run. So yeah, I mean, it's a very solid team as well. Uh, Basically crushed everyone but Malaysia, who, well, crushed everyone. So there's that. Then we have, who's the next one? Who's the next one? Then we have Thailand. Thailand, they had a bunch of changes prior to this. So they have Furiel as well as Capcom. I don't know why Capcom's listed as Survivor. Am I tripping or I thought that guy was a coach? But it is basically GH Core. GH Core is Thailand's team. Skyfall and Little Boy Gaje basically. So Gaje Survivor though. And Hechin is their hunter, Furiel is their sub. That is Thailand and Hong Kong with Kurai, which is the main one to note of this team, but they do also have a pretty solid roster, like Survivor roster, mostly comprising from many different teams. So you have Cool, who was in LT or LX alongside Kurai. You also had KL Wendy, I believe that is KL, um, and a bunch of other players that had some competitive experience in their HMT, IVT, and HMT qualifiers. This is a really solid team. I was like, despite their match against, I believe China not being super close, they basically crushed everyone else, I believe, in the group of death. So there's that. Then of course there's us. Uh, yes, there's us. I will get into them. I won't expose my team. There's Indonesia with Viru Sintais, Miho, Richter, and Les. Miho being, I believe, stalkers. Sintais. I've talked to these guys. I gotta stop pretending like I haven't talked to these guys. Very, at least from my experience, very nice people. Um, but yeah, so Indonesia, one of the last things to qualify. They shout out to their oh, by the way, shout out to Lef. Shout out to their hunter. They gave us presents. Very nice people. Very nice person. Their hunter. Shout out. So there's that, and of course, Vietnam, one of the craziest qualifications, with Pham Lam being their hunter. It's a Despite being a survivor prior to this, And then you have the basically the MP core from this team. There's also somebody named Fuku, albeit I actually do not know who that is. But yeah, that is Vietnam for you guys. And well, that is the regions, that is the fun countries competing. Wait, now let me how do I close on? Well, I'm very excited. I may be streaming a bit more frequently now moving forward. Maybe I'll make a video. I have been busy. A lot of people have been wondering why I haven't uploaded in a while. It's because of Asian games, as you can see. I was competing in it. And but hopefully, with 3 months still remaining, maybe I'll be able to get like a video or two in. Maybe I'll be able to stream a bit. But of course, I can't give so much guarantees. But for the most part, that is it. I do hope you guys root for us. I do hope you guys root for the team, for our players, for our teams here in general, who have tried their hardest to qualify, and they have qualified. Regardless of whether you're rooting for me and Team Philippines, whether that you're rooting for another country, please please just root for these teams. They're very nice people for the most part. For the most part, I think they were all very nice people actually. Albeit I didn't get to interact with every one of them, so there's that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. I will be ending the stream now. Um, again, let's see if I make a video about Asian games. Let's see if I make a video about some of the matches there. But for now, I'm gonna head out, and I'm gonna see you guys next time. Thank you guys for joining me. Bye bye.